Hello, and today we're going to take a look at how the Microsoft Bitcoin voting might go because it depends on who owns the shares of Microsoft. That's who has the voting power. So, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news, first of all, Fidelity and BlackRock own over 10% of Microsoft, which means they have over 10% of the voting power. That is a very big chunk. We know that both Fidelity and BlackRock have Bitcoin ETFs. Now, they probably will vote for yes on Bitcoin, and they probably want Microsoft to buy some of their ETFs. So their method is yes on Bitcoin. However, instead of actually buying the actual physical Bitcoins, they will want Microsoft to buy the ETFs. So, that's a 10% yes, a pretty big boost. Now, the bad news, Vanguard owns like 9% of Microsoft. They're the biggest investor in Microsoft at 9.09%. Vanguard is pretty much strictly non-crypto. They're not doing ETFs. They think crypto is a scam. They've actually said this before, and they don't plan to offer any kind of crypto or Bitcoin investments for the foreseeable future. So my guess is Vanguard is obviously going to say no. So if you actually take that into account, we have like a 1% in favor of crypto right now because Microsoft, you have like 10.3% yes versus 9.09% no. So you get like a delta of maybe like 1.2% yes. Now that's not a big nudge in one direction. It depends how the other people vote. So the other big players are State Street and Geode Capital Management, and I'm not really sure how they're going to vote. State Street owns 3.98%, and Geode Capital Management has 2.16%. And of course, the other 74.49% is other. So essentially, the individual Microsoft holders, you have Satya Nadella, Bradford L. Smith, Amy E. Hood, Kathleen T. Hogan, and Judson A. B. Altoff. Now, we don't really know how those will actually vote. So basically, a lot of these are like Microsoft's CEO, and they only own like 0.01, 0.007. So essentially, like Microsoft's own board is probably going to vote no, but they have an insignificant share. Obviously, you also have Bill Gates at 1.38% and Steve Ballmer at 4.4%. So I'm not exactly sure how Gates and Ballmer will vote. But if we say that they are going to vote no, then you have maybe a delta of like 5% in favor of no. But that still leaves another 70% that has not voted. So the retail section of how they vote is going to really determine if Microsoft joins or not. And we have no idea how that's going to vote. But for the data that we do know, BlackRock and Fidelity combined basically outpaced Vanguard by about 1.3%. But then you have Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates, which I think will most likely vote no because they're going to take the suggestion of the board. So right now we're at a deficit of maybe around 5%. So that's how I see the Microsoft vote, at least the parts that we know work out. Obviously, it's mostly going to depend on the smaller retail vote. All these hundreds of thousands of investors, they have a vote too. So if you have a vote, vote for yes on Bitcoin if you want Microsoft to buy Bitcoin. But just in the major players that we do know, which is like the big investment firms, Steve Ballmer, Bill Gates, we're at a deficit of about 5%, which we do need to make up. So the other thing is Michael Saylor is buying $42 billion worth of Bitcoin over the next 3 years. I think some people got super, super excited at this because they thought they were going to buy $42 billion worth of Bitcoin right away. That's not true. They need to actually raise money. That's right. They need to raise money to buy Bitcoin. $42 billion is not easily come upable, and they need to sell a lot of shares of MicroStrategy, which is why the stock actually went down today in order to buy Bitcoin. But that's going to be constant selling pressure over the next 3 years. $42 billion over 3 years, about $14 billion a year, divided by 365 days. Not exactly sure how many. That's probably like only a couple $1 million. I would say I think $14 billion a year is maybe like $30 million a day, something like that. Not like that significant, but good constant buying pressure in terms of MicroStrategy. So that's a big plus. Of course, we want to keep track of when he actually raises funds because that's probably close to when he actually buys. He's obviously not going to buy like $30 million a day. It's going to be like, bunched up, all basically over a week or two, these big buys. So we'll keep track of that as well. But he plans to buy $42 billion worth of Bitcoin, regardless of the price, over the next 3 years. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.